words for. Oh man.
That only works in movies.
I guess so.
Right. Can't just say "oh man" first. That does not work in real life. Sorry about that. But, ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It's seen and not heard. And I don't know what you've seen or what you heard all week. But I did hear that we finally put out our pilot episode.
Yeah.
Yes. We
Yeah.
did.
Heard that people liked it so far. I mean, you know, people are watching.
Got a little bit of views.
Yeah, some cool comments thus far.
Positives.
We thank y'all, and we encourage y'all to continue to like, comment, subscribe, give us your opinions. Tell us if you like it, dislike it. Don't be greedy. Share it. And other than that, we do have a spoiler alert that we will do every episode for anything, but we do have to give a trigger warning for this movie in particular because there are some sensitive themes. This is higher learning that we're doing this week. Not really the cultural stuff, but there is some sexual abuse and
Racism.
and definitely racism, violence.
Hate crime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, not for the squeamish, for lack of better words. But we are here and we will just drop the spoiler alert real quick. Now, we can talk about higher learning. Directed by,
John Singleton
rest in peace.
came out
Dope.
in '95
Yep.
when racial tension was already at its highest, especially in California, which is where he's from.
Right.
So, and he's a director of so many good movies: Baby Boy, Shaft. What other one?
Yo, Four Brothers.
Four Brothers. Yeah.
Poetic Justice.
Yep.
One of his last
Boys in the Hood.
things was
Oh, Boys
TV.
in the Hood is the
Snowfall.
He
one.
did Snowfall.
Developed Snowfall, yeah.
Boys in the Hood. He was the youngest and first black person to be nominated for Academy Award off of that,
Nice.
and that was his debut of writing and directing.
Yep. Which he also
So-
did with this writing and directing.
And that one was
I think
deep, but in different ways.
most of his movies written, directed.
Yeah.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's lots of people in the cast. Are we gonna run down the whole thing?
I mean, we can.
I mean,
We
you
can
gotta
hit a
talk about
couple.
the big ones. You know, you got Ice
Yeah.
Cube,
Cube.
Regina King,
Rappaport.
Omar, Busta Rhymes.
I'm gonna be honest.
Uh-oh.
When they roll credits in the beginning, I'm mad that Jennifer Connelly's name is first. Like she's top billed, and she's not a main character.
But it don't go by.
I wonder if it's who her celebrity was at the time.
It didn't go by alphabetical order.
See, I didn't
Like
pay
last
pay
names?
attention.
Oh, I don't know. That would make sense.
Because that would make sense, but that'd be weird for opening credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. I get that.
Because I was like,
Because
yo,
they usually
'cause-
put like supporting cast, like in starring at the very, very,
exactly.
very end.
Like it
yeah.
would be like in starring like Cube and Busta Rhymes because they got like a smaller ish type of role.
Yeah, I get
Got you.
that.
Got
but
you.
but whatever. That's a little.
Oh,
that's
Lawrence
nitpicky.
Fishburne, we'd be remiss.
Larry.
Oh, man,
Yep,
yeah.
yep, Larry Fishburne.
Let's see. Who else do we have?
Oh, Michael Rappaport.
Tyra Banks, of course.
Tyra Banks' debut.
I know you're gonna kill her
That's her debut.
once we
A
start.
little bit, yeah.
That was her debut?
It's her debut.
No pun on
for
killing
film.
her.
For film.
Really?
Because I think she did TV.
She had
before
that movie about being a Barbie. That was after that?
Yeah,
That's
I think
after
that was
that.
After that?
yeah,
Okay.
I think that's like late. That might
That's
be
crazy.
late 90s. Yeah.
Come off of a movie like that and go to Disney and be like, I'm a Barbie. Okay.
The
Disney
Ring.
budget.
The range, I guess. Yeah.
That's a stack though. Regina King, I think we mentioned.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, above other names because we didn't name everybody charges to our heads and not our hearts. If we didn't get into every intricate piece of the cast or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I mean, it was star-studded, and it's the ones that
Oh, shout out to Morris Chestnut who has a very minor role.
I forgot
Yeah,
he was
in
in
the
it until I
background.
seen him. And I said, why they do
That is
this
a,
to you?
I said that is a very light role
This is
to
a
have
Boys
to
in
be
the
in this
Hood
important
alternate
movie.
universe, yo.
100%.
telling you. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Like Doughboy and and Ricky went to
Definitely
college.
he used a lot of source material from like whatever interactions he had on one movie for the other. Because we talked before about like seeing that Regina King and Ice Cube
Ice Cube
interaction.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was like you could see it play out again
Yeah.
with Fudge and Monet.
One of the homeboys from Boys in the Hood, the one with the binky,
Yeah, he's in it.
one of
Yep.
the dudes
He's
that's
the one that
hacking in
opens
the
the door
dorm
with the
room.
fight after the fight. Yeah,
Yup.
he is. He is.
Yep.
And he
I like
was,
that in movies, though.
he used him twice. So when he was killed, I think in Boys in the Hood, they had him pull up on Tupac and Poetic Justice talking about they about to go look for somebody that just killed him.
Oh, okay.
Like if you
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back and watch that scene where he about to go see his baby mama with what's his name is in the house with
Yeah.
the car
Okay.
roll up and it's everyone from Boys in the
I
Hood and
never-
they're
Oh,
going
wow.
to look for someone. I was like, wow, that's
That's an
crazy how he
Easter egg right
interconnected
there.
everything. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
I like when directors do that. I like.
Yeah.
We kind of spoke about it. I like seeing repeated cast members.
Yeah.
So now we go to opening scenes.
Right off the rip, there's something that's really relatable.
Go ahead.
Like Malik walks into the elevator.
Oh, okay. So you're
Oh.
you're further ahead than me.
I mean, it's like the rally and stuff. Like you're
Yeah,
just really
rally.
just getting the scene, but that's like the first prominent like scene for me where it sets the tone for what the movie is going to be about.
I had one before. I thought like the body language of how the white people were at the rally looked very similar to like a lot of like Nazi body language.
Oh, man.
Like
I didn't even
I was
pay
like,
attention
like
to
when I
it.
seen it, because I'm just like I'm looking at it with an analytical eye. So I'm like, I wonder if that was there subconsciously, because it's like they made sure that all the black people look mad casual in the big, like in that big like assembly,
Like the meet and greet, right?
Yeah, and I was
Yeah.
like, why did they have them like doing this specific like
I didn't
robotic
even catch
arm
that. I
thing?
didn't even
I was
catch
like,
that. I didn't even
I was like,
catch
why are
that. I
they
didn't
doing that like that? So, but then I went right to the purse clutch.
The purse clutch.
So the purse clutch, how'd you feel about that, bro?
Been there.
I mean, I laugh at the purse clutch because I always look at it like, okay, all you're doing is telling me how you feel. Like, if I'm as threatening as you perceive me to be, do you think you can really stop me just because you put your hands on your purse? I'll just grab it.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the point. He was minding his business. He didn't
No,
look at her.
100%.
Like, he didn't even, and I remember back in the day, you know how like when doors was actually really loud when they lock. Like when you're younger and you're walking down the street with a group of your friends, you could hear in the traffic like clank, 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 clank.
Oh, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like thinking about your doggone car, girl.
And yo, it's funny. Like I didn't really notice it until watching it before we came in. Like if you fast forward to the end when they're talking,
Yep.
she's like,
She's like, it's
"Oh,
funny we never
from
talked."
class, right?"
And he gives her that look, and he's like,
Nah,
girl.
you know we met in the elevator and you clutched your purse, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna let you slide because
It's a lot going on.
But
It's
I
a lot
think-
going on,
I
yo.
think John Singleton did a great job and a clever way to tie the beginning to the very end to let you know it's the end. Because the fact that the two characters met, and then at the very end they're meeting again, and now this time he's
Different
consoling her.
energy, yeah.
He was able to
Yeah.
put his hands on her without her cowering.
Without her,
fear.
yep.
And the funny question that she asked him was like, it's funny, like why would we've never talked? And he's like, because you already had that perception of me in the elevator.
he thought I
Forget
was
the
a thug.
classroom. Like we never talked because we was never supposed to. We came from two different worlds. So I thought that was really clever too, like how he tied them both in.
100%. Like I believe that I believe they did a good job like throughout the whole movie of subtly showing things. So what do you have after the that was one I had, that there's like a connecting thread between like that age experience, how all of them are doing the poster on the wall thing. It was so nostalgic to watch them do that. Because I was like, yeah, everybody's different. and you're
Everybody's
putting
different.
different stuff up, but you're doing the same type of thing. And I was like, wow, like, you know, when people think they're so separated, it's like you still go home and have like these like very minute things that like connect you that you'd never even admit to, like being like, oh yeah, like I post posters on my wall. I post posters on my wall. Like, okay, I guess we're kind of living the same life, kind of, but very different at the same time.
And I thought it was really clever too how they showed, like, getting ahead of myself, but they showed the interactions of each roommates with each other.
yeah.
So like
You're s-
Regina King, like you watched her face of uneasiness when she realized that her roommate was about to be white, but she still handled it, and they were still like very nice and cordial with each other. Then you go to Remy and Fudge,
Fudge,
and it's
yeah.
aggression on on Fudge's part.
Yep.
But then you go to Malik, and what was his roommate's name? 'Cause
Wayne, I think.
his room was funky. You come in, you're being loud.
Yeah.
Malik turned the light on. I was like, listen, we gonna talk. So it was all different interactions with all different races of how it could go.
Blended, yeah.
Yeah, because you had a white
showing-
reckless roommate, you had the black reckless roommates, and then you had two girls that just really didn't know enough about each other. And they were still just trying to be like, I'm over here, but we have a common thing, which is our living quarters. So I thought that was very clever of how they did that. They didn't just make the black people aggressive. They didn't make the white people aggressive. Like, they showed different
It was a
worlds.
gradient of interactions.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Definitely.
And that's how campuses really work anyway. It's like everyone's so sweet, nice at the very beginning, and then when real shit start happening, norms start getting moved.
Annoyances
But
and
that's the
things.
real world too. You know? So,
Like, you got to feel familiar enough with someone's even voice that you're pissed.
yeah.
Most times, unless you're just like a crazy
Because
customer.
people don't operate that way. Like, if you do operate like that way in the real world, you seem abrasive and
Yeah.
unapproachable. So even if you're uncomfortable, the way Regina like operated, it was a normal thing, you know?
Yeah, she was like, I like that side of the room, but I guess you got here first. She was like,
"Yes,
yeah, I did.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Kinda done.
That's what it is.
Everything's set up. Like, I've been
We're
here.
not about to rock,
Right.
paper,
It's
scissors.
mad early.
So.
And it could have been the same scene as, say, Fudge came. And he's like, oh, you got that side of the room? It's mine now. Like,
100%.
Yeah, that's
you know,
exactly
they showed
what
two
happened.
different. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
And I mean, that scene does happen because that's when he's like, hey, how would you feel if I... He's like, how would you feel if I...
Oh, it's not gonna happen.
He's like, that's not going to happen. He's like,
Yeah,
why
it's
not?
not
He's like,
But it's the
I'll
same
beat
way
your-
as
yeah, I'll
it's the
beat
same
your
way
ass.
as when Remy went to go try to tell him to turn the music down versus
Exactly.
Malik telling him to turn the music down because his roommate right away was like, oh man, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you was here. But when Remy tried to talk to him with like, hey man, how would you feel if I did that? He was like,
Right.
that ain't gonna happen.
And the other, and mind you, it was just kind of like that's how Fudge was giving it up overall because it was the other roommate that asked him when they had the party the night before class. And then he
It's
was like,
over
it's
when it's
over when
over.
it's over. And then Remy went and he actually went to, he went outside and told security. He's like, they're playing their music. I'm not
And the
trying to-
security
I'm not trying
guard
to
wasn't
knock
even
them.
rocking with him until he realized it was black people. Because he was like, look at this guy. Look at him run through. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was more annoyance until
Security
he
was
realized.
on some bullshit
Yeah.
the entire movie.
Security was steady.
Security
Like,
was relatable.
I mean,
right.
It
they
was
were the most
relatable.
consistent, I think, in the entire movie.
All
They
I
did not
kept-
change up.
He didn't grow.
They did not change up. Yeah,
I
no
remember
story
watching,
arc.
I remember watching that as a young person, and like the part that resonated when I seen them do it. And the first question I was like, "Why you ain't breaking them up?" I said, "I've done that at the Big E
Yeah,
when it was Commerce or Springfield Day, and you're not
Oh,
breaking
man.
up East Long Meadow.
100%.
You're not breaking up Cathedral, but you breaking up Putnam, Commerce, SciTech. But all these people are
All
sitting there
schools
watching us
fight.
getting breaking up. We're not like so. I was like, that does happen. That
Shit,
does
like a fucking
happen.
animal in a zoo. So yeah, that goes into the frat party, the first frat party, yo. And the first scene is them tipping a car, fucking thugs.
Exactly. And I thought that was funny because like that's
Yeah.
done at like sporting events, win or loss.
Win or loss.
So excited that you have to tip vehicles, which I think is like absolutely insane.
You gotta understand, both those parties were going on at the same time. For the black party
Simultaneously,
was
yep.
like they're in there playing cards, they're
Yeah.
playing music, they're loud, but they're the regular loud. They're dancing, they're calm. Like you guys are tipping cars. There's women like half dressed. You guys are like over excessively
out.
drinking.
Yeah, bugging out.
Okay, how is this your first time watching it? It's not, right?
No, I just haven't seen it in a very long time.
The first time watching it, I didn't notice that the girl that they were pouring liquor down her throat was
black.
black. I didn't pay attention to that.
Oh, bro, I ain't even over my head. Yeah, I ain't even peeped that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but
What is she doing there?
But once again, I mean, but this is to show
Humiliation.
all these
Fun.
different experiences, because you know what I mean. Like there are those like situations where you're the one black person. Yeah. Like you know what I mean. So it's like she probably doesn't even look at those things. She could be from similar economic scenarios. Like you know what I mean. And like she's just like she's a part of crew.
And we
Supposed to
just
take
don't
place
know
in
her
Cali.
story.
We're assuming. Mm-hmm. This is Cali.
Yeah,
It's a fake university.
It's a fake
but
university. But what I feel like what he initially did and what he initially captured for me was he made the university a small world. So you have the cultural pots, you have racism, you have systematic racism, you have all these people with a common goal of trying to be successful, trying to figure out who they are. That's the world in general. Like, you know, you have people that are rich, and that's what Malik was always saying. Oh, these people don't got to worry about nothing. They don't got to worry. But you had homegirl straight off the rip, like, baby, you got to get a job. Like, right at Bursar's office. Yeah. She wasn't black. She was white. She was having financial, even when she lived right down the street from Disney. So I feel like he did a great job to make the campus a small world where you don't have to relate if you didn't go to college. You could just relate on a social level.
Yeah.
And I think that was really clever. Like, to call it Columbus, like, think about who discovered America.
Yeah, which
100%.
there's
That's really
thoughts
cool.
about a couple scenes. Yeah, discovered facts. Yep. Yeah, Kristen's racist friends, frat boys are mad rapey.
Okay.
It's a lot going on at this party.
Yeah. Her friends are trash.
Super trash. Racist. Off rip.
Microaggressions of what was normal, of what people did in the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that type of conversation and language was normal for them to say without the uproar.
And I'm not even calling them trash for that, because like you said, that's normal. I'm calling them trash because of the quality of friend they are.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. They were only friends, I feel like, through being Like, how long was school? How long? They're freshmen.
Yeah.
She never talked about really knowing them, did they? Or did they put that in there and I missed that, where there was like some type of context to say that they'd known each other for a long time?
That girl was a freshman, but I think they knew each other prior.
Yeah. Or
Because
are they? No, because they're not roommates. So
they're not roommates.
Maybe do you think they just bumped in, met at registration? Because this is like moving weekend. It seems, right?
It happens fast where you don't see how the connections happen.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, do we really?
There's no backstory to
No,
it.
there's no really backstory to it. But I feel like if they're doing it on the pretense of everyone just getting to know each other on this campus, they never really owed her anything. But at the same time, like the real world, I feel like, and it's like you have to put it all together. I feel like when the white girls was being mean to her, who was her savior and her cape?
Oh, 100%.
Black women. It's
Yeah,
always
for
been
sure.
said to be that type of way. They've always told black women to stop putting on the cape for other races. Like, they don't come to save you, so why would you save them? So, and it even shows you, like, when she said, they talked about her hair before she walked up, and then they said, oh, your hair is really nice.
Oh,
Your
yeah, we
hair is
talked
really
about that.
nice. Your hair. But then as soon as Regina was helping her get ready for a date, she was like, yo, take that lipstick off. You looking fast. Like, it was an honest conversation. She ain't go, hey, girl, you look good. Like, oh, she was trash.
Yeah.
So,
But I mean, and when we go back to the frat party, that's one of those things when they went back, when she went with Regina and them after the situation, after she got assaulted by the guy, Billy was his name.
Yes.
After Billy assaulted her, they like, it was just like these stark differences. So like Monet walks in the house and then she's like, oh man, like, oh, long day, but now I have nothing to do. I got my paper done early. And then she's like, oh my God, like, you're crying. Drop everything. You're crying. Like, the fact that those two girls were on that porch and couldn't see their friend was crying, like, they were more focused on, like, why do they have to bust up our party like this?
yeah, but they were never her friends. They already showed that in the bar. They were never her friends. Like, they're like, she looks like such a skank or whatever they called it, and they're talking about her as they're walking to her. They didn't care about
Nasty
her well-being.
work.
They were just there for a good time.
Yeah.
But I feel like even with, like, the black culture, it's like we're so sensitive to trauma and violence, you know? Like, nothing really had to be said for Monet to put two and two together when that phone rang. Nothing.
Yeah.
So she's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And she's just crying. What's wrong? And then she sees the phone ring and she looks and she's like,
Dude's calling.
seen this
Vibes
before.
is off.
Okay.
Seen this before.
So, question: do you think when she told Fudge and them, she ever spoke on what he did to her, or do you think that she just? I just think that she
Black
told
bitch.
them. Yeah.
It was-
Okay.
yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was all.
Okay, that's what I
Because she
figured.
was going to handle this situation. All she was going to do is keep them separate. She's not here. I don't know where she at. She's not here. And every time he probably came, she was probably going to play that game for her. Keep her away from him.
And the only reason I asked that is because you just spoke to how much empathy you felt she had in that moment. So I didn't know if you felt that she spoke to that as well.
Now that shit went out the window. Did you not see her contemplate on
Oh, no,
that when
no,
she hung
I'm-
up
I'm-
the phone?
I'm with you.
Yeah,
That's
she was.
It was
yeah,
one
she
of
was in
those,
deep
like-
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and you could tell that at the very beginning, she's not used to this type of melting pot and dealing with white people the way she is. Because she was like, you live next to Disneyland, must be nice. Like, it's like she knows where she's from. She's from the hood. She's from, like, so for her to be called that from a white man's perspective,
Yeah.
she probably maybe have gotten called out the name arguing with a black man or whatever because she's not afraid of black men, the way she talked to Fudge straight off the rip.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was
Super
just like,
senior.
you meant that with your chest.
I mean,
It's
plus,
a different type of disrespect. It's so different.
I mean, I think when you deal with like racism, I hate to say it, but like if you deal with racism like at the mall, at the store, like somebody driving by, it's like it's a big world. Like, you know, I don't know where they're going. Am I following somebody? Like, that's not the
It's
safest
different when
thing.
you're on, like, a
you're in this
campus.
concentrated space, so you're like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like somebody, it's like you're like the person around the corner saying it over the phone. You're like, I'm about to go see you.
Yeah, like I gotta see you every day potentially.
Like, it's
Gotta
like
walk
you're
through
not
the same
like,
halls.
what we not about to do is we're not about to create a habit of this disrespect.
Right.
We're gonna check it at the door.
At the door, yeah,
We're
exactly.
gonna check it so next time you even think about it, you swallow the thought.
Yeah.
And then so
We touched on like you said a lot of the parallels when like people are moving in. So like we got the parallels between all the different parties that's going on campus. Party gets shut down, but we get Taryn's first interaction with Kristen when she's walking and she's like, "You shouldn't walk by yourself." Like she pulled a dude move, yo.
she definitely like ran up on her in the dark and was like, you should be careful because somebody could do what I just did.
Yes, like
Like, I was like, fam, like your approach is a little like
yeah.
positively
This is
predatory.
after the assault?
No, this is this before the
This is before the
This is
assault.
before the assault, actually.
Because she tells her, "Oh,
What the blue
follow
light
the blue
system
lights."
is.
Oh, yeah,
Takes you
yeah.
to
The
the-
ones
to
that she
the
walked right
security
by after
phone.
she got assaulted.
After she got assaulted.
They zoomed in on
Yo,
it because that's
call
what
somebody.
happened.
They showed the phone. You're not thinking
uses
about
those.
that.
Nobody uses
Yeah,
those.
nobody's thinking about
No one's
that.
going to get assaulted and stand and press a button and stand in the code.
Right.
I've been to plenty of campuses. We never use them.
Right.
Ever. So
No,
I
that makes
definitely, I was like, it makes sense. And they were not much help anyway. Like, they were never help. They
They
just
was
always
barely
wanted to
believing
just impose their power.
anything. Yeah, that
That's
was going
it.
on campus.
Yeah, they didn't care.
Terrible. They cut to Fudge segregating the campus. You know?
Which is life.
Oh yeah, when he's
She's
just
very
like, this
true.
is that section, this
Yeah.
is that section.
Is that
Yeah,
not
yeah.
the way
These are the
Springfield
blacks.
is set up?
These are
Is
the
that not
Asians.
set-
These are the Hispanics. Yo, yeah.
And that's how the world works. Like it really does. You stick to your own kind without thinking about it because it's comfort. Because like all the interactions that were interracial, they made it a point to make them a little bit awkward and uncomfortable. Whether even they were good, you know, like with Malik with his roommate, you know, like
Yeah.
Remy was struggling the whole movie with everybody.
Yeah,
Everybody.
we're gonna get into
Oh
Remy.
my God,
Everybody.
yeah.
But
Remy,
it-
yeah,
but
feel
it
bad
was-
for Remy.
Deserves his own conversation.
Monet with what's her name? Kristen? That's her name in it?
Yep.
Like they were all awkward because it's different worlds that we can't relate to. Like me coming from like an all black school, HBCU, things like that, like having friends that are white, it's like it's not uncomfortable, but it's like it's different. It's a different culture.
That,
especially if they never experienced my lifestyle.
The subconscious sense of home
Yeah.
is not there.
Yeah, and honestly, I could probably feel the same way if it was a black person that grew up in the suburbans,
100%.
always had mommy and daddy take care of them, go on vacations. Like literally, the girl that was in the frat party that was so disconnected that she didn't feel the need to be around.
She
black
didn't know
people.
anything that happened right.
I would have a problem connecting with her because life experiences bring you together, and that's why he made a point to show that they all stay within their own groups.
And that's why people say the whole like all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Because like that's when you, I hate to say it, but that's when you subconsciously prejudge. Like, you know, like you'll see that girl that was in the frat party and you'll think, oh, we're like this because we look alike. And then she'll open up her mouth or something about her interaction will have you repurpose her and put her in the other box. And you'll be like, oh, no, she's more like those folks. Let me put her over here. Whereas, like, say the exact opposite economically was like you meet a white person that's in a similar economic or grew up down the street or could have grown up down the street from you, you like once you have that first awkward interaction, then you feel their energy is different. You're like, oh no, let me put them in our box. You know what I mean? And you start to treat them that way. Like it's so funny how like you have this subconscious already like, okay, nope, you're over there. You're over here.
And Malik did that with his own
100%.
professor. Like, that was my brother. Like, he helped me out. Like, and you're
All
the
the brother
victim with so
talk.
much, and you can't even write a full sentence with any type of grammatical errors. And he has no time for you with this because God knows what he had to do. Like, with the accent, I'm assuming that maybe he wasn't from there. It took him a lot to get here. He had to fight and strive. And you not about to come up in my face and play that black card with me, bro. Like, that's how I felt.
Swing hates his accent.
I cannot, yo.
Yeah.
From an acting standpoint, yo,
It's
like I'm
hilarious
very
when Fudge does
particular
it.
with accents in movies, and like, yo,
It's the Williams.
and the way you said it earlier was funny as hell, yo. You were just like, yo, I just took it as he's just not from here.
Yeah, I don't know where you're from.
Like,
but you're not
bro,
from
I don't
here.
know what
I don't know.
island you're from or what borough or where you from, bro.
Right.
I don't know why they needed to make him.
Bro, what part of Jamaica you from,
I
bro?
don't know why they needed to give him an accent. Like, he could have just been.
Because they
Could've
wanted it
just
to be
been-
different than the other movie.
Yeah, I guess.
But it was so
Because he's furious.
Yeah.
Like, if he doesn't have the accent,
he's furious.
he's furious. He's furious.
That's why I said there's boys in the hood all over.
Yeah.
Got to like add some
You
layers.
do? Oh my gosh.
Because Fudge,
Yeah.
Fudge was kicking the same socioeconomic
I mean, that's when they're like,
shit.
Yeah,
the
like,
whole-
trust
I
me,
forgot
they-
he was in Boys in
they're
the Hood.
definitely in the room, and they're like you know what I mean, like while they're building the film up, because they don't do any cultural talk to even add layers to why he has the accent. They're just like, hey, could you do something to make sure that we know it's different? He's like, I got this accent thing I
Not
do.
a
They're
flag
like,
on
bet.
his desk.
Like
nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. Like nothing.
They're just like, oh great, now you're another person. Perfect.
Yeah, straight up.
But oh man, oh whoa, so we're going to the first day of class, I guess. First day of class, can you show some initiative? That's why this world is that's why this country is failing in comparison to other countries. And then
Financial aid.
my
kicking
man
everybody back
Malik
in.
sees it as a shining opportunity
Yep.
to make sure he can get some cool points.
Yeah, because he was
It's
trying
that
to pull that
brother-
black
It was a
card
good
right at the
move.
beginning. It
was
was
a
like,
good-
oh, I got this.
It was a good move. Like we about to my brother my way out of this, and we gonna be homies for the rest of the year. Like that's what we gonna do. Like he gonna give me grace on everything else if I just do this one simple task. I'm gonna do the icebreaker, and I'm never doing nothing else as far as putting myself out there and going hard. He'll always remember I did a good thing.
Right.
Yeah. Then he found out it was about the money. Get out of here. And he's like, you know, like you said, my brother. Like, and he's like, yo, like, and then they go back to another scene. So we'll flash forward to the next class scene. When he's like, yo, we're not going to let you rest on the fact that you're black or you're white or you're this or you're that. And then he goes to the girl, Kristen, and he's like,
or
or
you're-
you're. She's like, I don't know. That. If you're that. And I think that was important because he was just saying, like, it's basically the merit of your work. And then I thought it was telling. There were, like, these, like, scenes that weave right there are, like, they're telling about Malik's character, like a little bit of that big man on campus vibe. A lot of that. He doesn't like feeling like he's a dumb jock, even though he likes the perks of being the star player type vibe.
Like the movie deals with a lot of.
Yeah, he doesn't like the he likes the
lot of
positive of it,
identity.
but he don't like the negative of it. Cause like it's like, yo, nobody said that to him, and he was like, I'm not no dumb jock. I was like, where'd that come from? Like nobody said it, and you already feel it.
Yeah.
And then he also dealt with it when he walked up very cockily to the coach, and the coach is like, yo, fam, like, yo, there's other people that could clean your clock. Like, you're not all that. Like, relax. And that's what I was going to ask you. Have you seen situations where coaches humbled people
All the time.
via
All the
the
time.
bread?
Via the scholarship. Our coach told us one
Oh,
time
see, yeah,
halftime.
that was new to me.
Nah, my coach told us halftime one time our scholarships ain't safe because we wasn't up enough.
Oh shit.
He looked
In the
me
middle
right,
of
and
the
I wasn't
game?
having
Yo,
a great
that's
game that day
crazy.
either. Got rested, so but he looked at me going, "You ain't safe either," and I said,
Oh shit. Yeah, we dropping
"You
30.
recruited
We dropping
me. You
30 in the
just gave me a
second half.
scholarship." We went out there. Needless to say, he did apologize at the end of the game, but
Word.
no, it was every year counted. Like I could have went, like say I had my 2-year scholarship, whatever. If I didn't live up to my season, that scholarship's gone the next year. Like it's not guaranteed like that. Like one of the girls lost her scholarship when I first got there because me and her ended up fighting, like fist
Yeah, you
fighting
told
on the
me that
court.
one.
Yeah. But it wasn't necessarily she lost it because we fought. It was because the season, I was already starting, I was already doing enough, and he was already trying to get the girls that he was trying to build his own new program. He was a new coach there. So a lot of girls was not safe. A lot of girls got ripped from their scholarships. It's not a guaranteed thing. Then you got to think about it. It's like, it's not necessarily just your coach. It's your grades. You know, you have to present yourself. When you are a student athlete, like, you are property of that school.
Yeah, you sign a contract.
You're 100% property. But the thing about it, a lot of people don't know is, like, when winter vacation comes and stuff, you write a list of stuff you need. And they give you $800. So it's like, oh, I need socks. I can't go home. I can't work. I can't. So they provide a lot for us. We get stipends for meals. Like, they give you $20 a day when you got like a 3-day weekend vacation. You go get some McDonald's and you bringing home some money to yourself. Like, it's like, it's a give or take. So it was like, I got his frustration, but I was like, you wasn't trying to put the work nowhere. You wasn't trying to put the work in to better yourself in class. You wasn't trying to put the work in to better yourself as an athlete. What do you want besides pointing and crying all the time?
Yeah. And that's
the only thing I could really rely. I mean, I could like agree with Tyra's character, because she was like
other people want your spot. They would die for this,
and they would literally die
appreciative.
for it. I read somewhere it was like 3% of high school players play in NCAA college.
I think Warner just posted that today.
Yeah, and I'm looking like
yeah.
I'm part of that 3%.
That's rare, yeah.
That's crazy.
That's huge.
And then it's like the percentage was even lower. It's like
for a professional.
something that make it to the NBA.
Yep. And
Like
it's a real thing.
What is it, 20?
There's only 500 jobs in the NBA, like for players.
Yeah. It's nuts.
You know how many colleges there are? Like, they're killing niggas that have dreams. Yep. Like, yo, just give me the money, though.
And he was getting money handed to him to run.
Right.
You know, so.
And I mean, the reason I wanted to ask you and I wanted you to describe all that is because when it comes down to it, like, it was just like the coach was like, I'll show you.
Yeah.
Like, go from full to partial, just like that.
This ain't like high school ball where you got some players and you want to keep them and you convince some parents and everything. D1 money talk. There's a girl right behind you. There's another girl right behind her. I'll be able to work with them. Do I prefer you? Absolutely. But if you're going to give me a headache, you're going to bring my morale down.
You're not worth the trouble.
I will get fired if I don't have a winning record.
Right.
So it's not about you. It's about me and it's business. That's all it is.
I'm mad it was a voiceover. Like,
during the like when first off, I love that song. Shout out to Aretha Franklin.
Word.
When
Young Gifted Black.
When Young Gifted and Black comes on, it's beautiful.
I think it's perfect for when he starts running, how the cameras. I was like,
in
ooh,
the keys at that part, like, oh my God, the keys sound so amazing. But I do wish I could see that part, that conversation that they had that they used as a voiceover.
They could have montaged it in, like they like, yo, John
just
Singleton
hear the
loved his
audio
fucking
and
montages.
then
yeah. You know, this movie's filled with montages. Like,
okay, so
that's literally my next note. Sports montage, yo. Like,
yo, for real.
Typical stretch, running.
They had a good, I think. Oh, you know,
passion speech,
list of good shots. I know we talked about shots.
Yeah, you know
There was a good shot. I like the shot when they were like when the dude was jumping. When he's doing like the long jump, and like you see him go over the blue sky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I love that shot.
Yeah,
I like that shot a lot.
Yeah.
You know, trigger warning. I did like the way that the camera depicted the chaos of the rape scene.
Of the rape
assault.
scene,
Yeah.
Like, and I actually the day after.
I think it was like
it goes
how it becomes so like it escalates. I feel like that was very realistic because it wasn't like she wasn't compliant at first. She just had her own situation of how she would feel more comfortable,
and it
and
turned ugly.
And more and
Yeah.
more and
The
more.
music
And
ramps
that's
up.
that's how it happens a lot.
Right.
And then now it's like, well, you did consent, like you did go upstairs with them, like you did drink, right? Like so now it becomes this sticky situation where
Questioning
she doesn't
yourself,
want to
how'd
go
you-
to.
yeah.
how it develops. It's like
So many stories are like that.
soft. It's like a soft screen, and then as it ramps up, quick cuts to him holding her wrist, and then the spiral, literally spiraling out
spiral
of
one.
control.
I was like, all right
yeah,
now.
and how it happens. It's a quick. You know, it's very effective. Very effective.
And then I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Before
the
just 'cause
scene
it's
that
right
I
off of
like
that.
Oh, you gonna set up for that? Yeah.
No, just because it's right off of the rape scene.
Yep.
I thought they did a great job of. I mean, even being a man and watching it, I felt the discomfort
Yeah.
that she had the next day being around any man.
Yeah.
Like they did a great job of feeling like if you look at the difference in her meeting, what was
How
his name?
everyone's looking
Will.
at her and shit.
If you like, his name was Will, right?
Which one?
Dude with the long hair,
Wayne.
Wayne.
Wayne,
yeah.
yes.
That-
it's Wayne.
Look at the difference of when she met Wayne in the opening scene, how carefree she was. Guy just looked at her because he liked her from day one. And then she was like, oh, cool. Guy looked at me, whatever. But then when they do like the slow pan of every single man, her
All
feeling
eyes
like
on you.
every man's eyes was on her.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like that was the judgment of that night. I
It was
felt
just
like
how-
it was
that's
how
how
she
it is.
feels after that happened with all males.
That's a good perspective because I
Yeah.
feel like that's how a lot of women feel anyway. Like when
Exact-
you walk through something that's just like, dag,
Like when they talk about, I was about to say, when they speak to how uncomfortable women are
Yo, I've heard
made to feel.
women
Yeah.
say like, yo, having a vagina is like having a target on your back.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's heavy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I encounter a lot of uncomfortable situations like at work, because it's just customers. But that's why I enjoy the fact that I do work with a lot of respectful men that when they see it, they're like, go in the back. This man's a creep.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
stared at you last time,
Yeah.
like, hey, and they're all like that. So it's like they're all like my bros, but yeah, it's uncomfortable.
It'd be
And it's really
crazy.
cool that you said it that way.
What you mean?
Like how you said, like how everyone's looking at her and it's like perceived that it's because of what's talked about on campus.
Yeah.
But in reality, it could just be that's what they do. It's
Mm-hmm.
a pretty girl walking, and they don't care if she's crying or she look hurt or she's pale.
Right.
She's just a girl.
A lot of
So
parallels in the movie because early in the movie, not same guys, but guys in general just giving her
Just
smiles,
looking at
just
girls
smiling. Oh, hey,
normal.
And now after the assault, an innocent smile may not be like, what does he want? Like, you know what I'm saying?
And that's
like,
the crazy thing, because if you like look at the duality of that one scenario, those dudes actually could mean well,
Yeah.
but
And
she still
that's-
feels just as uncomfortable.
that's where the unsafety and the lack of trust is coming out. It wasn't like it was like a stranger or it was violent. Either way, it was horrible, but her guard was down. She was comfortable. She was with, quote unquote, 2 friends, 3 guys, having a great time. We're going back to the fraternity. In her mind, she knew she was about to do that. In her mind. And then everything changed and all her safety went away and her voice was gone. And I think that's what caused her to be like, do I trust anybody anymore? Because then not only did she get hella betrayed by this man, it's like to add the smack in the face is to watch the 2 friends that set you up
Console
to get this
him.
inebriated
Console him.
walk into the...
Yeah.
They consoled him.
Are you okay,
Billy?
Mm-hmm.
It had to be Billy. It had to be a nigga named Billy, right?
And
Okay.
but it's going back to her being in the elevator and clutching her purse. Ironically, you were not safe around white
Around
men.
your own people.
100%.
And black men came, whether they came for yours or
Even
not.
if you got
they
third
came
party
and they
rescue,
handled
they
it.
did help you.
They
They
came
did
and
hold
they
you
handled
down.
it for you. And wasn't looking at you, and you felt very comfortable standing next to Monet in that dorm room of those angry black
is
men
that
about to
him?
ride out.
She
Yup.
couldn't see their skin color over the
Yeah.
cape.
Yep.
See, the saving had her
Because
feeling
he-
beautiful.
Yo,
Because
it's
you guys
crazy. You know
think-
what? They rolled up in trench coats, yo.
Trench coat. And they
Crazy.
did not move until Monet set this off.
100%.
She pulled her forward and said, which one is
one
it?
is it?
It's not about you. It's like, oh, but you called me a black bitch. It wasn't like, you did this to her. It was like,
nah.
no, let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
So,
Drag your ass outside.
100%. Oh man.
Remy, we need to get into Remy a little bit.
Well,
Because it's,
this is the Remy segment of our show.
yeah.
I mean, he is a main
You're
character.
supposed to dislike Remy.
It's
Yeah, but I feel like there's a common ground with a lot of black
Tragic.
people.
he's the
watched it
tragic
happen.
character in this movie.
It's like the
Like,
radicalization of
radicalization,
him.
yeah.
It's like we watched it happen. And it's not saying, oh, black people, no one is to blame, but it's just like he was socially awkward.
Everyone
race
is to
was
blame.
but
Yeah.
it wasn't even like people were being rude. They just disregarded him. Like one time when and then let's be clear. He's socially awkward. Read the room, bro. Why would you go up to this man and be like, yeah, did she like it?
Okay,
did you
yeah,
like it? Did you
yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
it? Huh?
So
and then
he's-
when they're already
his
upset,
social
you're still
skills are
talking.
super
He's
in
looking
the basement.
And
yeah.
that-
He's looking for any
level of
to connect.
acceptance. Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
trying to
every
connect
wrong
with
way.
anybody. And what I said to Swing earlier was he is corny even by corny nigga standards.
Yeah.
Because if you watch it at the frat party, there was like let's say like there's a group that's in the game and there's a group on the sidelines. He was on the sidelines. Yeah. And when he was on the sidelines, there was a guy next to him that was also on the sidelines. And he tried to talk to him.
I know, that's what I'm
and
saying.
that
It's
dude
just-
wouldn't even
what do
talk
you think
to him.
you gotta do
Like,
to
You
get in
would
here?
just disregard it because
I'll
it's
do whatever,
random,
man. I'll do
it's
it.
random awkward conversations. It's like you being somewhere and someone just like, you could have small talk, but when that small talk is so awkward, you're like, why are we?
Yo,
yeah,
man,
okay.
he's like,
and you turn.
He's like getting clammy. Like, yeah, I'll do
Yeah.
it. I'll do it, man.
I get it. I feel.
Like, do
I feel.
what?
I just
Like, who you
feel.
talking to? He ain't even looking at you no more.
Yo,
How
think
he
he-
stood
I think
at the corner of the pool
When it
Yes.
table.
cuts back,
Remy-
he's not
Remy-
even sitting there.
He stood
Remy's-
there and they're like, do you want to play?
Remy's
Yeah.
mad weird because he walked up to a pool table, stood there, and then, like you said, go ahead. He's like,
They just stood there and he was like, do you want to play? But it was
I don't know how to
crazy is
play.
The person.
I'm just here. Nick, you're weird.
The crazy part about this whole movie is the person that showed him the most attention and the most respect was Malik, playing that video game with him.
But
And he beat
nope,
him, but
no.
he just hopped
He just
away. He
walked
was like,
off.
but it was just a very light, like I'm with you. I'm playing the game with you.
But see, the thing is like, unfortunately, this dude was so awkward that he needed someone to like my buddy him.
Yeah,
And
there's
nobody
no-
was gonna give
That's
him that.
nobody's job
Like
or
so,
responsibility.
but this is why he clung to it the first time he got
I know,
it.
but that's why I say the only person that showed because
Because when he said you want to play again, he just walked away. He didn't
he
even
was
say
already
no.
walking away and
He was
feeling
gone,
himself.
yeah.
But the thing was, he could have walked up and he could have been like, "Yeah, I'm good," and walked away,
Mm-hmm.
just like the homeboy in the frat party ignored him and didn't talk to him. The Jewish guy tried to ask him if he wanted to play. The people that you disrespected the most in this movie were the people that actually tried to just like, "Hey, okay, you're
Right.
weird, but whatever."
Like,
But
you can be weird, bro. Just break bread with people. He's putting more pressure on himself.
And when it comes to movies in general, I think that Remy's the villain in this. But Remy had a lot of redeeming qualities. Because even if we're not necessarily empathetic to his character overall, we're empathetic to that feeling of wanting to belong. And even if you grew out of it, even if you've grown past
Never wanted
it,
to belong to nothing.
but I mean,
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm an awkward alien. I was always that kid. My mom was like, "You don't go outside." I'm like, "No, it's cold outside." She was like, "You don't want friends?" No.
But to that point,
Don't.
you know that that's a rare thing.
It is, but see, that's why
Right.
it's so hard for me to relate because he got chances that he needed. Like when he was walking down the street by himself, he was like, "Hey, where the party at?" Everybody turned around, was like, "Yo, it's over here." Nobody went, "Ew, you weirdo, go away."
Yeah.
That's not a like. And the worst
Everybody
thing
was like,
is,
"It's your job once they're opening that door to make sure you stay in that house."
he's trash.
You just putting your feet on my couch, Rick James, like fuck my couch.
He's trash. He's terrible at human interaction.
He's horrible.
like he's really bad.
Idaho, right? Iowa.
Boise, Boise,
Raised
Idaho.
by a
Boise.
survivalist that was abusive. So that's another thing. His father always thought the end of the world was coming. So obviously he didn't have a lot of interactions. He talked to that with the neo-Nazi guy.
Scott.
He said that he was, because that's when he had the gun and he was showing the gun and how he could shoot
Oh,
and all
he
that
did.
stuff.
Yeah. My dad used to.
He briefly
yeah.
talked about his lifestyle to make us understand why he was so weird and so awkward and didn't know how to talk to people because his dad was a
Different type
survivalist.
of sheltered
The
life.
world's about to end, and he was abusive.
He definitely called him the F word. Like when he first approached him,
Yeah.
he thought he was gay.
Yeah, because that's my favorite shot.
this
in
is
the
my
movie.
thing.
That's
It was
what I gonna say
95.
earlier.
You
yeah.
are pining for friendship. You are just as weird. This man had more sense. Like, hey, you want to come out? Like, we're hanging out. You just
Yeah.
walked into a group of people and said, hey, where's the party at?
Well, the thing is like this movie is
You gotta pick and
big.
choose.
This movie is big on recruitment. Like, and it shows like the way gangs recruit, the way skinheads recruit, the way military recruits. Like, it just shows how recruiting works. Like, you find people that don't really have a tribe, and then you be like, hey, you want to be a part of something? Because like that's how he's seen him alone, just sitting there, and he's like, got him, let's go.
Like
And he goes, talks to him
skinheads
instantly, embraces him,
specifically.
No, I
offers
understand
brotherhood.
that too, but I also feel like that's what it's not necessarily people recruiting you, it's just what you look for too when you're in that position. Like not just him, but when she got victimized, she found the women's group. you know?
Yeah,
and at
like
the same time, the girl was just like, hey, like, listen, if you don't know what it, like, don't be in, like, she gave her, but she was so, like, just, I'm trying to find where I belong. I think everyone was
Movies
trying to
filled
find where
with
they belong.
Themes of
Yeah.
finding their identity.
Yeah.
Because people aren't the same midway through the movie, and they're not the same by the end of the movie.
And that's the world, too, is once you
Because
get into different
Kristen
experiences.
is, I'm bi-curious. She's messing with Taryn. She's messing with what's his name? Wayne. I was almost
Great
calling him
camera
Will,
work.
Peacemaker.
Great camera work when they keep going back and forth
Yeah.
between her liking both.
I think it was really cool too that they made sure that they showed the condom. Like,
Yeah.
they showed the safe space for her. Like, everything just needed to be safe for her. But it's how you change as life experiences happen with you. Like, Malik, for instance, walked in with the shades on. Like, I'm an athlete. I'm this. I don't got to do much.
Humbled,
But then you had to get
partial
humbled,
scholarship.
and now that's gone. So now you're like, I'm in school. Like, I got this. But bro didn't know how to write an outline. Bro didn't know how to write a thesis paper. That's what you learn in high school because I'm assuming because you was a star athlete, you got coasted through.
Yeah.
And now you're
100%.
here and you have to work
Really
and you're
work.
mad about it because in your mind, they're not working. And that's all he could think about. Everybody at the school was getting an easy ride, but in reality, it was you that was getting the ride. You didn't have to work a job and get an education.
And that's what I was saying when I was like, yo, like, even though obviously he had the natural things of being a black man, he had entitlement to his status level in the school structure. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, big man on campus or whatever. Like, when that started shying away, I was like, wow, like, you know what I mean? Like, he instantly went to the professor was a sellout. And I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? And the professor's like,
no accountability.
the professor's like, yo, that has, like, even if that was true, what does that have to do with your inability to write a complete sentence?
But that's what he was used to. He was used to getting passed with bad grades by maybe a lot of teachers in schools that looked a lot like him.
100%.
He was
Bro, you're not
used to
using
that.
punctuation, bro.
That's what I'm saying. When
using a
Tyra started
period,
breaking
bro.
it down, what's her name in this movie so we don't get
Deja,
confused?
you know.
Yeah.
Come on, that was,
I was,
come on.
yeah,
Come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yo,
That's why I'm,
yo,
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
yo, one time for the one time. Yo, like, yo, y'all know when Beyonce has like the Sasha Fierce character? Like, one of my lady's alter egos is Deja. So it's hilarious. Like, I had like this like, what's that? When we was running around heavy 2022, like, I just used to be yelling Deja like Omar Epps did.
Yeah.
I used to be, we'd be outside the clubs and I'd be like,
we gonna get to
Deja.
that. Yeah, because we're going to get to that too, bro. We're going to get to
Okay,
that
yeah,
too.
oh goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah,
But,
Deja.
Yeah.
Effective
Yeah.
shots.
Yes.
Yeah, Deja.
My favorite shot.
Yo, first off, I know we're gonna talk about how terrible you think she did in the movie.
Yeah.
But she was a writer. Cause in the library scene that you were talking about, when she's going through the fragment, grammar error, no punctuation, is this a comma, all these things, she literally said, we've got a lot of work to do. They're not a we yet. Like, I was like, damn, this dude got another way out. Like, he does not have to do this alone. Like, get to work, bro. Like, he never had to, like, figure anything out. I was like, yo, shout out to Shorty. It was like, she's really adding that to her load. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like, we got a lot of work to do. Like, I gotta teach you a lot of stuff.
yo, he was like, but like, yo, I'm sorry, no disrespect to him, but I feel like when I talked to you about being a student athlete, that was just kind of like life. And he was like really mad that he had to do what it took to be those two words, a student and an athlete.
That was his growing
Because he was
pains.
like, yo, I gotta run and I gotta work. Like, this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what'd you think everybody else was doing?
But that's what is funny because when you go to Kristen, like, she has to get a job. She's worried about financial. She doesn't have a scholarship. She doesn't play any type of sport. So it's like you both have the
Different
same type of
privilege
struggle,
levels,
but that's
yeah.
life. Like, that's literally the real world. You have to pay bills. You have to do the things you need to do. There's responsibilities. You have to juggle life in general.
And that's what makes it a coming of age story.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're literally watching people that are portraying the time in life that's supposed to be what, between 18 and 22, that 4-year block.
Yeah.
Real shit.
Yeah.
Real shit. Now, I was just going to say, like, my favorite shot, like, that I thought was really effective is, you know, speaking of Remy, after, the second party, or is it after
You talk about when he gets to meeting, when he meets Scott the
with
first
the-
time.
Scott the first time?
with the
Yeah,
flag behind
you said it before. Like, yo, he's like abrasive to people. Yo, he's like, oh, like, yo, what do you want? Yo, like, you thought he was coming on to him and shit. But like, I like that entire shot because it's like it's a low angle. Scott comes in, you see his lower half, you see boots, black jeans, and then again, if you don't know skinheads, the red straps
Proud
and all that.
Boys.
But it's like, oh, okay, you see this guy who's trying to befriend him, who's coming up to him and saying, yo, what's up, dude?
Mm-hmm.
And then like as it develops, yo, American flag above the head,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Oh, what does he say? Oh, we're white in America. Yeah, ain't
what
no
more
more
do
fun
you
than
get?
that.
Can't get no better
Yeah,
than that,
can't get more fun than that.
And he
And
was
then-
like, what?
yeah, like, yo, come have a beer with me and my bros. And it's just like, okay. And then it just slowly backs up, crane shot, to reveal 3 other skinheads,
By
4
the
other
Columbus.
skinheads by the Columbus statue.
Yeah, that was a pretty.
I see what's going on here,
Yeah.
And I think like, and then you kind of see Remy's realization, like, all right, like these
Like,
guys,
didn't expect this to be gang, but
yeah,
this is
but
gang.
like, yo, they're
He
they're
accepted
little bro
quick.
in me right now, yo. They're the only
It's
people
the
that's
embrace, right?
Yeah, I think what really won him over is when they finally went back to the house and you could like now it's more clear, like the swastikas are all over the place. And one of them tried to clown him. I forgot what
Yo,
he
I was
said,
about to say
and the leader defended him.
that was the
and
moment.
he was like, you don't talk to him like that. And then he
That's
got up, he
pure
was like, you know
Aryan
what?
blood.
You know what? You're right. I'm sorry, Remy. I'm sorry. And it was just that moment of power, acceptance, and protection.
Yeah.
all 3 at once.
That's gang
All 3.
shit 101.
Because
Yeah.
he definitely.
Like the biggest dude was getting clowned. Like, you know,
Yeah.
normally that's the person you don't talk back to.
Yeah.
So I think that was the selling point.
Yeah, that
for him.
moment of protection,
Yeah.
he never felt that from any other circle.
Anybody.
Like whenever,
Even from his
whenever somebody would meet him with aggression or opposition, he had to sit in it. No one saved him. So that was the first time somebody saved him. So now, whatever Scott wants me to do, I run through a wall. Just like he was saying
Yeah.
about the frat. I'll do it. I'll do whatever.
Oh, at the
Like
end,
I'll
they
do
got
whatever
beat
to
up,
be involved. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's the same theory with this.
He just wanted to
with this
belong.
group.
When
Yep.
they fast forward to when
To when he
after
said,
the
"Will
gun-
you-
yeah,
will
I'll,
you
I'll
shoot?"
fucking kill. I'll
Yeah.
kill somebody.
Yeah, he
Like,
said, "Will you shoot one?" He said, "I have,"
right.
and then he said, "I'll do it. I'll do it right now." He said, "Go, cool, let's go."
okay, you're the trigger man.
Right.
Crazy.
Oh,
yep.
you know what else I thought was good camera work? When Remy reveals his shaved head, how he's looking around and seeing people be fine with being themselves, and he's like, "Okay, like I've made this change. I've accepted that I'm going this hard, and this is what I'm about." And he's like, "You know what? That's it." Throws the hat down. Like,
Yeah, but I don't even think necessarily he threw the hat down because he saw the people being themselves. I feel like it was the conversation he had with the leader of the neo-Nazis when he was like, this isn't our country no more. They're taking it over. Pretty soon you won't be able to get a fucking job and all this
Yeah.
stuff. So now he's
He's seeing
looking
all the
it's nothing but
multicultural-
different races.
Yeah.
They never once panded to another white person. It's Indian, it's Chinese, it's Asian, it's black. And then they made sure they put that black man in the African print.
that's why I
they made
said-
sure they emphasized
But-
how
Get the
different
blackest
different
dude on
cultures
screen,
are.
yo,
I
yeah.
feel like they were showing the melting pot and trying to emphasize on the melting pot.
But that's why I think but that's why I was saying I feel like he was seeing the differences, and like I feel like he felt like he had made the transition to shave his head, but he was still doing it like this is what I do when I'm with the guys, but I'm covering it. Like, you know what I mean?
no,
That's why
I
I
feel
felt
like-
like that moment. When
I feel like he was more angry. I feel like he was sitting there struggling with that goddamn test, and he's looking around and watching all these other races. And they just said in their mind, you're not going to have
even gonna
jobs
get a job.
in the future.
Yeah.
And that pissed him off because what do white supremacy want to do? They want to fear you. They want to
Yeah.
intimidate
Make
you
America
because
great
they
again.
feel inferior. That's part, like, they will call themselves superior because they feel inferior.
There's white genocide going
Yeah,
on.
and I
Get
think
that
it was
shit
a reason
Gotta
for
get
us
the
to
country
watch.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a reason for us to watch him struggle with that test before he did it. And then watch all the ease of all the different races getting through that test before he took it off. It was like, this is my land. What y'all talking about? I don't care if you smart. It's my land. Like, I feel like that was the statement in that scene.
When they fight at the end, yo, nah, like I'm the man.
I'm the
Nah,
man.
I'm the man. Yeah, like
And
yeah.
he wasn't even really sure of it when he said it. So.
I mean, but he was. I mean, classic version of imposter syndrome. Because I mean, he could only muster up enough courage to like start half of the stuff that he got himself into. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he couldn't sustain the energy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he said something about the Black Panther shirt, but then he's like, ooh,
He
oh man.
ran.
Like, oh, this is
And
about
then
to
he
be a problem.
opens the door like, "Hey, buddy, what's up?" Like, do you not remember
like,
that
you remember what you
called
just
him a
said?
coon?
Like-
You don't remember him? He has the same shirt on.
Exactly. Like, yeah, this is the same.
And then
day.
you got punked as hell in that dorm room, but you're not stupid, just like the way the real world is. You're going to pick with the Jewish guy because you know he ain't about that. So when he
100%.
walk in here, now you want to be big and bad. You want
and
to
that's
put your
why he
hands on
ran up and was
somebody.
like, "Yo, don't try to,
But you've
don't
been
try
getting
to."
beat up by all types of black people on this
Everybody.
campus. The whole thing. So I
Yo,
thought that was cool.
wild disrespectful. Disrespectful roommate etiquette off rip. Like, yo, why? Like why niggas just get mad at your stuff?
He got mad at everything in there, but he did touch his stuff
He
first.
touched his stuff first.
Yeah, but that's first of all, he wanted to be an engineer. He wanted to build. Did you see all the things he destroyed
like-
from this man?
It seemed like I was like, oh,
Jealousy.
But that
Feels inferior.
the funny thing is, that's how dorms are selected. I mean, like, I didn't have a classic dorm situation. We had apartments, but they try to group people by majors and interests. So it was like, yo, I can't believe y'all never talked about this stuff that he had on the wall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, clearly y'all were both into similar
they didn't do
things.
That for me.
Oh,
Like
that's
when I went to Salem State, my first roommate, which is ironic, so it was me. They put two of our basketball girls together, me and the other starter.
Oh, so
But
that
we
was the
had-
interest.
But we had a Remy. We had someone.
Just a random.
We had a random girl, whole different lifestyle than us. Like,
And they definitely
very
don't
urban.
always get it right.
Move right the fuck out. Move right the fuck out. And it was our dorm room for the rest of the time, but it was very uncomfortable. It was very awkward. We were very respectful, but at the same
Yeah.
time, it was like, this ain't gonna last long because she is just clearly not comfortable with the urbanness of this.
And they,
shit.
and I'm not saying that they always get it right, but
She
when you
wasn't,
but
like-
when you see them try to get it right, they try to mesh interests. Like, you know what I mean? Like when they don't mesh
I feel like
interests,
that's only
that's
like
when they're
specific majors. It's not for regular majors. So like if you are engineer, if you're doing that, like they will try to put y'all together because it's harder nights, it's longer nights. You know, you have to go to the building. But like regular like little freshmen out there figuring out life, no, y'all go all in that same building together. Like we're all together. It's like a nice little melting pot.
Okay.
You know, like nursing will have like the nursing unit and all that stuff. But
Right.
you know, they put everybody together. They really do.
Like I said, I didn't go to a big enough school.
Yeah, I've been to. I was at Morgan and then I was at Salem State first, but before I went to Morgan. So it's two different contrasts. I went from a predominantly white college,
PWI.
really small, and then I went to HCC, melting pot, and then I got my full scholarship to Morgan HBCU, and that's why when Malik said what he said to Wayne, and he was like, "Yo, I just feel more safer around my own people right now."
Yeah.
Because I had too many different experiences. Like in high school, I got called you people at prep school because of my braids. And it wasn't from a kid. It was from one of the people that worked in the cafeteria. I was getting my hair braided before practice.
Then you get called a thug for the tattoo too.
Oh, all the time. But that was, I got my tattoo when I was 17 years old, just Shay. So when I got back to Commerce, you know the deal. Like we're playing Ware, we're playing McCain. So when you go out that far and you're playing and you're good, the parents in the crowd, they're mad. So we're thugs. We're this.
Yep.
But meanwhile, their girls are hacking us. Their girls are talking about us. We're just killing them. Like, you know, crossover, aggressive, blocking shots. But we're thugs. So that's what was always a stark contrast when it came to, like, going in that world. And then when I went to prep school, like, I was so, like, thrown into something that I wasn't ready for. Just like he says, the 5 black people, we all stuck tight together. It was just 5 of us. And we all stayed tight with each other. We all played ball. It was like 3 guys, 2 girls. But it was something that we needed for our own safety because when we weren't together, a lot of things happened. Luckily, when I was getting my hair braided, it was by the other black girl. And the lady came up and she was just cleaning the table. And then she stopped and she was just staring at us. And I know she could feel it because she's braiding, so she just looked at her. And she went, "You people in those things." And started
what?
casually.
Like, and that's like, mind you, bro.
There was
That's
nothing
People
that's
there.
in those
I was-
that's
things.
high school.
My
I
hair?
was
That's high
16
school.
years old. I was
That's
16.
crazy.
Like,
And-
if you're working there, you're literally talking to kids saying that.
Yeah, and the girl, she was going there
It's
for
bullying.
she was going there for her 5th year because she didn't get a good look at Commerce, so she was trying to get there to get another scholarship. So she walked away, and she still braided my hair. And we're quiet now because now we're like, and she was like, "You heard what she said, right?" And I was like, "Yeah," and she was like, she kept braiding my hair, and we went to practice.
Nuts.
Yeah, and the next year I was back at Commerce. My principal helped get me there because they weren't trying to release me from Wilbraham and Munson without paying. My high school paid for me to come back.
Yo, shout out to Commerce.
Right.
Yeah, shout out to Commerce for that.
Commerce proud of it.
Definitely shout out to them for that. Like, it's like sometimes you leave your yard because you're like, oh, that grass over there look real clean.
Yeah,
You find out.
And then you come over there and like, get off my grass, Negro.
Or
get off of it.
or
Get off my grass.
This is Kentucky
feeling.
Blue.
Right.
And you
You're
ain't
like,
that.
you know, let me go back to my old playground. Let me go back to things I know. So
Damn,
yeah, that was huge. It was, and that's why I could relate on so many situations, so many of them. We had that little race fight at Wilbraham and Munson with the 5 of us and some people.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yo, what?
It was race wars all the time.
I mean, but we had race wars at middle school too.
But I was telling you, there was people at Duggan that I would sit next to, and they would be drawing the swastika and then like turn it into a window. Like I had a girl sit right next to me, and I was like, you know what?
Vince.
I saw what you draw. I
hate-
saw what you drew.
I hate
Nightmares.
Me too.
Yeah, me
All the
too.
time.
I'm sitting there looking at her like,
Yo, that
Which is so disrespectful because Vince was actually agreeing with what he meant to say.
Yeah.
Me too. All the time. I hate niggas.
Yeah.
yeah, but
The
no, that's
whole
why.
show. But
That's why I say
Yeah.
it's so relatable on a different level of just college. Like it's the world, you know.
yeah.
Okay, so
I mean, race wars, yo.
Oh,
because we're still
the
on
fight
Remy.
scene. The fight
As,
scene's important.
Yo, let's start a race. Well, the fight scene leads to the race war.
Yo, speaking of that,
tirade.
why is Busta Rhymes' Yank game so impeccable in the movie?
Hey, yo.
Pause.
Whoa.
But yo, when Billy tries to run over the couch, he
Yo.
yanks him back. Remember
No,
that?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when they're running in the
got-
fight, he yanks two I'm
people.
like, yo, fam, like, is that
Yo.
just what you do? Is that your fight style? Like,
So I
I'm
know
like, why
Busta
you-
Rhymes says to the security, you're like, we go to school here too, but do you, bro?
Why? Because you ain't never seen him in class.
You're not in no classes and you're not kicking no knowledge like Fudge. Is he the I need money?
He did say some real stuff. What did he say?
Yo, what y'all got y'all got munchies in here drinking other people Avion water? Y'all got Avion in
Yo,
here?
yo,
I just remember that one. Like, he was like, "They hate us because they ain't us." I said,
Yeah.
"Word."
Yo, that was nostalgic. Because I remember thinking, like, Evian was like rich people water.
That's true.
Like, I do remember there was a time when Evian was like, oh, that's
high
the
class,
bougie
yeah,
water.
that was that
Sound
good
fire.
Like, that's
water.
not that Poland.
That's
Like,
that water.
Yeah, it's not that
Room
Poland,
chilled
yo.
in nice hotel
Yeah,
rooms
it's
back
not
in
that
the day.
Crystal
fancy.
Geisler.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
It was like that in Fiji back in the day before all these other
Yo, Fiji was
friends
bougie
Yeah,
growing
Boss
up.
was up there.
Voss.
Man.
Oh, my
okay,
God.
so
I mean,
race
but-
wars.
Yup, yeah. So yeah, the fight, cause what was the fight about? Was
Remy.
it after he pulled a gun?
It was Remy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it was
saw
Remy
him.
pulled the
the
gun
gun
in the
on Malik.
room.
Yo, I'm
Yeah.
tired of this
Malik
shit
and
vibes.
I don't remember the Jewish dude's name.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
his
me
name
neither.
either.
Yo, and I feel bad because yo, dude, that I'm gonna look up his name, yo. I've seen him in a lot of parts, yo. He's like the de facto Jewish guy.
Yes, he does. That's like
in
the role he
everything,
plays.
yo. In Saving Private Ryan, he's the Jewish guy. In Entourage, he's the Jewish guy with the trust fund.
Sure was.
He was.
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Some people
Right.
just got that role, you know, that they're always trying to play.
It
that's racist, yo.
is racist. It's very racist.
It was made in the 90s. You tell me a movie that don't have any type of racial
I
innuendo
was
in
a-
it constantly.
Oh, yeah,
10-year-old.
Especially black and white. They love stereotypes in the 90s.
100%.
All types of movies.
Okay, so what we got after the
Wild ass fight, which is comical.
fight was
It's
great.
very
Fight
slapstick.
was sasatisfying.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like Omar Epps' that celebration is mad corny. Like I'm on Omar Epps.
You mean when he's running down the hallway and he's like, "Rawr, I'm
Like,
mad."
That one too. But I think it's the overhead shot when you're looking up at him and he's like,
yeah,
mad triumphant.
Oh, he's
yeah, like
That joint tickle me. Let me
my
beat
God.
somebody up like that just had a gun in my face. I probably dance around you to the sturdy all the way back to my dorm.
No, like if you do that triumphant stance over and he kicks you in the knee, now y'all both on the ground and we tussling
facts.
again.
And you can't run.
I mean, but obviously
Yeah,
he
and-
wasn't about that life.
Yo, kick
Beat
him in
with
the
a
leg.
napkin canister. Beat him right in the head.
But
You don't
kick-
remember that? That's the very
Nah,
beginning.
that's the
Knocked him
first
right in
swing. Yeah, the
I said,
first swing
yes.
was
you gotta kick him in the leg. You gotta come at the fact that
I mean,
you know
he learned the
uses his
second
legs.
fight. He learned from the second time he fought him to kick him.
yeah.
He didn't learn the first fight. That's not his problem.
They wasn't teaching that in Boise.
But Malik wasn't thinking.
Nah.
So
Yeah,
At all.
that goes into them going on that tirade about the race war, but then Scott, the parallels between Scott and Fudge.
Oh yeah, all
You know what I'm
like
saying?
definitely great at putting batteries in backs. Like they were getting people going. Like it's leadership.
Because to Fudge's credit,
Different purposes,
But this
of course.
is my problem. When people draw that similarity, that's why the Black Panther Party got dismantled and KKK can still happen. Because Black Panther Party and Malcolm X was never talking about starting violence. If you want to bring violence, let's go.
Yeah.
White supremacy is all about violence. Eliminate, eliminate, eliminate. Let's reduce, let's have fear. Let's do all of that. They're not about that. So every time that Fudge was talking for me, it was just like, be
Defense,
a smarter black
100%.
man. Like,
Yeah.
don't sit up here and be naive to the things that they're doing. And if they do hit you back, don't turn the other cheek. Turn around and smack them in their face. You
Now,
know,
I
I feel
agree
like
with you.
that's what the conversation was. Even when he did hypothetically about the national anthem.
Yeah.
He was so way before his time because
Yeah.
Colin
we-
Kaepernick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. What you gonna do?
And oh my God.
I'm gonna get up because I'm nervous.
And when we're when we're talking about these those small scenes where there's growth for Malik's character, you got to go back to the professor when he's like, "Yo, so you just gonna get off the track if somebody you think is like stronger than you, faster than you,
Right.
runs
no,
hard?"
I'm gonna run faster.
And he's
But
like,
it's also now that's a stark contrast for he was like if you don't run or whatever you don't got the money
Yeah,
and
run,
Fudge
nigga,
said
run.
run nigga run.
"That's it, got to do it."
Got to do it.
No, I believe but when I was saying batteries and backs, I wasn't saying for the same reason. You know what I mean? Because a battery and back could be to motivate somebody to do well. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just saying like leader of men. That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like definitely two different purposes. So I was not relating the two.
No, I'm just saying it's like when people bring that correlation because that's what it was. It was the Black Panther Party with the KKK. That's essentially he literally had on a Black Panther shirt when it started.
100%.
So it's like that's the correlation that they wanted to have. Like I keep telling y'all, the campus is America. Like I'm gonna live and die on that one. So that's where it was like, you get what you deserve when you want to have violence.
What I
we
really
know
like
that, and
about
okay.
Fudge is like as the movie starts to like unravel all the knowledge that he's dropping, from the Frederick Douglass biography
He was
scene where
mad
he's
that
just
he-
like
you're not reading it on
telling
your
him,
own.
you're not reading for you, bro.
He's
know
like,
what I'm saying?
what turned you on to Douglas?
Right.
Because he was happy. He was like, you're seeing
Yeah.
And even how he kicked him out was so nice.
Thought you
Compared
was
to
one of the
how
smart
Scott
ones.
deals with Remy.
Thought
Smacking
you-
him up, yelling at him. He's like, but you're not. So you gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go. Listen, hopefully you take the knowledge for yourself, but yeah, you got to get up out of here, And then you start to learn more about Fudge because they clown on him for being the super senior and all that shit, but it's like,
What you doing plotting?
He's
plotting to
there.
steal.
Yeah, he stealing all the knowledge, bro. Like, I'm here to learn, so I don't care. I've been here 6 years because I'm not done learning, I'm trying to get all the
Yeah.
information I can.
And you could flip it to a positive. Who's to say he not a RA that's doing his master's?
Doing
Like
exactly.
it was funny they left it up to interpretation of how we feel, but we
Just
first
'cause
of all,
he's been there that
beginning of the movie, they keep emphasizing how expensive college is. This man don't play basketball, he don't do nothing.
None
but
of that.
in
And he's
this
still there.
big,
I know he had to have a
comfortable
job.
apartment.
I knew it.
He's a RA.
I knew it. Yeah, I was like, that's the master's program. There's a lot of books in
He
there.
probably
His
head of the
bedroom
black-
had a full library.
The head black cultural department where
Yo.
they threw
Right.
that party where I was like, I can relate because I've been to a white campus and that one little cultural people throw the party for all the
What
black
sucked
kids.
about that is like I wish they would have like showed the dexterity in the character to have like, yo, but I got this job. You know what I mean? Like just so because I'm like that would have made it make a little more sense.
Like he's,
and
working,
that would
he's working in the school library.
you know what I
or
mean? Like it would
something.
have been like, yo, like actually I'm in charge of a department. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like pursuing my PhD for this. Like I would have been like, oh, like I'm pursuing my PhD in cultural studies or something. I'd be like, oh, okay,
But,
cool.
I mean, with all that, you would get the professor and his birth certificate and where he was from and why he got the accent. Like, we don't got time for none of those.
But it's just like this. It's just this man that
can.
can like.
We need to
it's like
understand why
the interpretation could be bad. I could mess around and just think he's rich, and think that like he got like a rich family at home and he just like got super hotep when he went to school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it could go either way if you don't tell me what, like,
I mean,
how
but
he
those are
just
like
exists.
spin-offs. Like, yeah, we don't got time for all that because I thought it was. I had the question of like, it goes to how Deja behaved the entire movie. Why was she not in the Friends of Circles with Monet?
Oh yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. It's
It
like,
fit-
but
yeah,
and
that
every
fits,
time
yeah.
she went to talk, it was like she was the black person. Like, listen, like it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like you could be like, it's not that bad. Why are you fighting? You're gonna drop out of school. It's like she was more concerned about stuff like that without the way the cultural things were happening. The only
But do
thing
you
that she could
think
relate
Deja
to,
was a sellout?
I don't think she was a sellout. I just think that she probably lived somewhere where she didn't have to deal with it as much.
Baldwin
I don't
goes.
think that she was a Monet that got called black bitch on the phone.
No. Not at
I
all.
think that she dealt with maybe weird stares about girls, you know, but
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah, I
that
think she dealt with the microaggressions.
it was
but that
impactful
was,
enough for her.
I think the microaggressions was as bad as it gets for her.
And people have to understand, like, not every black person has that story of prejudice and struggle.
Right.
It's something that you might not be able to relate to.
I do like Deja's representation though, like as being the driving source for Malik's arc, which is all right, I'm getting knowledge from the homies. I'm taking like a mentorship with Professor Phibbs.
Yeah.
And he's starting to learn, and then obviously because she's the love interest, I'm gonna act right.
Yeah.
I like this girl. I can't really. She's not gonna let me rock if I'm not
Yeah, like-
I feel like he
studying or
listened- he
showing up for the
listened to her.
team.
like
Yeah.
calming
he's-
presence.
He listened
Yeah.
to her more about, like, yo, this world's not going to hand you nothing.
Right.
You should be lucky versus how the professor said it.
Right.
Versus how Fudge said it.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
he got the same message in different types
And
of
they had the
ways.
relatability. I mean, that was one of those like unification of sports
Yeah, they were
type of,
athletes.
like,
You don't
you
want
know
to
what
have
I
sex
mean?
with Fudge or the professor.
at all.
Yeah, and at the
Yeah,
same
you know what
time,
I'm
how are
saying?
you going to sit here and tell me what you doing is hard when I'm doing the same thing?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm an athlete and
I'm an
I'm going to
athlete.
school
Yep.
and I'm writing my papers and I'm doing everything while you sitting
Yeah.
up here crying about
So
it
that
and
was
all this
the-
red is on your paper.
So that was the only person that he developed a relationship with that could sidestep his main objection of how difficult his circumstance was. It's like, no, I'm doing it right in front of
Yeah.
you.
So, just thought about this.
Go ahead.
Morris Chestnut, random cameo. Is this Ricky, alternate universe, or is this his
No, it
character
ain't
from Best
Ricky.
Man, prepping for being
For
a running
football.
back? Yeah.
It ain't Ricky.
Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Alternate universe Ricky? Nah. Because, I mean,
Nah, that's
crazy.
Nah,
He
that's
made a point to
dude.
show him in an interracial relationship and get it really like pissed off. Like his lifestyle was like rich, like he was like a very privileged black kid, and he
Yeah.
was only focused on success with the sport. Like he
Yeah.
wasn't there for nothing else. Like Malik was there to play a sport, yes, but he was there to he was learning knowledge. He was staying hanging with Fudge. It was a lot of different stuff. So I feel like Morris Chestnuts was like another form of Deja in a sense. Like that's
Word.
they're both lifestyle. Like they both went to a good school.
Got you.
I ain't Ricky.
So, so do we? Oh, we got to make sure before we go, we talk about the closing.
We never got the closing scene.
Yeah. I mean, after the race war, you could shoot somebody. They bring out the guns, and they got this plot, they run the distraction. They commit a hate crime, They beat up 2 gay students on campus to get the security's attention so he could get the shot off.
Shout out to that. Sorry, flashback. Shout out to that time jump that they did so that you would know that it was Halloween, because that was random except for showing you how much time went by.
Word, yeah.
Oh, the salt
Like
and
when
pepper.
they did like the salt
Oh,
and
yeah,
pepper,
yeah.
and then the masquerade.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, this is only to show us that it's October now.
Yeah,
Yeah, towards the end of the semester. Yep.
yeah. I mean, it was impactful. I think I was more like frustrated with how, because it is true. Like the security guards were so annoying the entire time. I wrote, well, like you're really gonna beat him. You're
Oh,
gonna
man.
beat him. We were
Yeah.
looking for a shooter. Like
Oh
Yeah.
man, babe, before that, you know what's crazy? When he takes the guns out of it, like when he drops out the backpack full of guns, and he's like, "These guns are trash," and he's like, "Oh man, like I got a friend in law enforcement."
Oh, I mean, it's
Like I was like, I thought that was important.
white
like,
supremacy. It's a
but-
brotherhood.
But you know what I mean? Like it was important to show.
And Scott tells him when he's like, "Yo, why'd you drop out of school?" yo, we need more people like you to be lawyers, doctors, shit like that.
Yeah, that
we need to
whole
put
Yeah, that's all. That's
white
what it
brothers
is.
in
how they talked to
in
him with
charge
the
of
gun
institutions,
versus
yeah.
how they would have behaved in the other way. When he pulled that gun out, they were like, "No, don't shoot, come on,
And that's
buddy."
what you said. If
Come
it was the shoes on the other
hey,
foot.
no one's
Yeah.
died. Yeah, but yes, someone has died, sir.
Malik's not gonna be able to get the Glock out the backpack. They're lighting
They're
him
gonna
up.
shoot him.
They was already being with Stance.
Yeah.
And I think that was crazy because I know that was gonna be something that was gonna.
when he pulled
file
the
them-
gun, they
Boys
grabbed
will
him
be
up
boys.
and they didn't want to hear nothing that he had to say. Like, bro, you're looking, you got the completely wrong guy. Like, twice.
Twice they had to, because the
Twice.
Jewish guy had to run out and tell
Like,
them
you
that
got
you
the
got the
wrong
wrong guy.
guy.
You got the wrong guy. So, and that was just him just trying to run and say someone pulled a gun out on him. And their favorite line was, "Guys, just see some ID. Let me just see some ID."
I want to build things.
Like, I know they're not real cops, yo. Like, because if it's
They couldn't.
honest
detect-
cops,
Yeah.
diffuse the situation. You see two people in a fight, you diffuse the situation first.
Right.
But during an active shooter situation, I'm not the greatest detective in the world, but somebody beating on somebody in the area of a live fire situation, I think,
I think like they made it a point to like make it very heavy-handed
Oh,
on how
of course.
biased they were throughout the
course.
whole thing.
100%.
Yep.
Like someone just pulled a gun on someone. They're pulling out swastika flags out of his dorm room, and you look up,
You're just,
and
like,
you're like,
holding it
"Come
up
on,
and,
guys, you got to break it up." And there's all types of crowds
Yeah.
around, but you're afraid of the,
The
crowd
white
that's going
crowd
to get
is
sparked.
twice as big as any
Yeah.
of the black kids that are outside. But
And
but
never
we
had
gotta
any
leave.
words when they had the questions.
Yeah.
And I was like, how many times do you see this guy that you keep asking him for his ID?
He always said no, so it was like
Always said
was
no.
just
Yeah,
like-
I'm taking that
it was
as
just a back and
other
forth.
microaggressions, bro. Where it's like you got this security guard that's clearly seen him 3 times throughout the movie, and yeah, all black people look the same, bro. That's how I
All black people look
interpret
the
it.
same, and they interpret
Yeah.
us as older than what we are because
Yeah,
the strongest word that they use
boy
when
versus man.
they were calling him a kid after he just shot somebody. They were
Yeah.
calling Remy, "Hey kid, come on kid." But every black person came, "When you got an ID on you, you supposed to be on this campus."
right.
You know what I mean? Like it was always a stark contrast of how they behave. So
Shout out the bus around. You know we go here. Yeah, you know we go to school here.
Stop calling us gang members.
but that's what they do
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
real world.
Yeah.
You know? They
Austin
call
Rhymes was brolic in every scene. Yo.
they'll call a violent kid that's like 14, 15, that's white. They're gonna be like, "This young boy," you
Yeah.
know. But if it's a black person, they're gonna
Man.
be man.
Mm-hmm.
15-year-old
Young man.
with a hood on. You're a
Yeah.
thug.
Yep. We don't get bulletproof vests
No
and get
grace.
taken to Burger King after we just murk
Facts.
some people.
We don't get probation or whatever dude kid got from East
Oh
Long
yeah,
Meadow
the East
for
Long
raping
Meadow
a
with the
girl.
rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pops
But I
knows
mean,
the judge. Like,
It goes
come on.
back to that. Like that's why I said it goes back to that boys will be boys mentality. Like you can see the way they had the cop handle white people. Like
Yeah.
it was like like that's what I was telling Swing earlier. I was like, I don't even believe that was like negotiation talk down to try to get the gun. I was like, no, I believe that cop truly believed.
You didn't
that.
hear
Like,
the
you're gonna be
agony in his
okay.
voice when he
was
shot
so
himself?
sad. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
like, no.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
100%. Yeah,
that's
Like,
the
when you
most
saw-
emotion we've seen from you for
The
any
whole
kid.
movie.
And the
Yeah.
crazy part about it is you could care less about this kid when he first ran up to your car. Look at this kid. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you were already like saying, I don't want to deal with this. And then now you're so like sad because this happened.
Right.
When you did nothing on this campus to de-escalate any racial tension that's happened. Right.
'Cause, yo, if he doesn't kill himself, yo, you could paint the narrative. Yo, they go to court. He might have testified on this kid's behalf, like, nah, yo, he was having a rough time
Oh,
on
they're gonna paint
campus.
him as a
His
victim.
mental health and all this other
Bullied.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was bullied.
man,
they pushed him to do this.
Like man, they've been giving him a tough shot ever since.
He's a
the first
hardworking
night.
kid. They were
Before his first
antagonizing
class, he
him
just
while he
wanted to
was
sleep.
studying. Yeah. Yep.
But I
Just
mean,
skip the part where you were a dick to him.
but don't you always hear stories about people that are like white supremacists or whatever? And it's like they're like, what happened? Like, and it's the most minor story
Super minor.
that made you racist. The
Yeah.
most minor story, and it has nothing to do with your interactions with black people. It has everything to do with how you grew up yourself.
Right.
That's why I feel like they made it a point to tell us that, oh, your dad was abusive. He was a survivalist, so he was crazy. You were all these things, but now we're walking on this campus blaming everybody else for why you're uncomfortable and you can't make friends. That's not how it works, but that's how white supremacy works. And that's why when he died and Scott sat in front of that TV, he's like, you know what this is? This is
White
white supremacy.
power.
This is white power because he became a martyr for it. It wasn't necessarily divide by fear and violence, because what did you just disrupt? A peace fest.
Yeah.
Cultures were about to come together. We were going to learn from it. And you just disrupted all of that with violence and death and made fear and all of these things. And you brought it back to what it used to be. So that's what they want. That's their goal, divide and conquer.
Yeah, and it's interesting that the mascots, their team name is the Conquerors.
I did not know that.
Well,
I didn't
yeah.
picture that.
That fucked me up because I'm like, oh, Columbus State University. Oh,
See, I'm telling you,
Well,
it's not
on
the
the
it's not
Conquerors.
America.
Like, come on, dog.
That might
See?
be the on that note.
That's a nice little Easter
Yeah.
egg. Yeah, I like that one.
that
See?
might be the on that
I'm gonna
note.
live and die on that.
And we'll charge the mic drop to swing this week.
Yeah.
That's the one right there. Thank
Word.
you, sir.
Appreciate that.
So until next week, we will be getting ready to get on out of here, and we'll keep our eyes peeled and our ears open.
Make sure y'all drop a comment about anything from the movie.
Please.
Yeah,
We
what's
might
your
have missed
opinion on Higher Learning?
Favorite moments.
Cultural classic, so we got to get into that.
Yeah, we got so many. I mean, trust me, guys, you were getting a glimpse into lots of conversations
Yeah.
when you see our episodes, because we'd be here all day each time if we had
going.
if we
If
talked
had
on
Yeah.
all
day.
the points.
Yeah.
So I mean, as much as we, and it's just us going to be letting you guys behind the curtain, as much as we'd like to develop a specific show structure, it's easier and it makes more sense in this group because we're good with each other and we can have great conversations to just have a conversation about the movie.
Yep.
But on that note, I believe we are ready to call it a day until next time. And you make sure that you hit us up and you follow us on Seen and Not Heard on Instagram.
Instagram, YouTube.
Subscribe to Seen and Not Heard on your YouTube. We appreciate y'all thus far. Keep subscribing, keep sharing. And we would love to hear from you to know what you'd like to
Like get a view.
hear us talk
Like a
about.
watch list. Yeah.
Movies, TV shows, albums.
Albums.
100%. Excited to do albums soon.
Yeah.
Shay, you have some amazing ideas
What, for the music?
with how you want to get us there. Yeah,
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about that, though.
100%. So,
Peace.
yep. See y'all. But yeah, good job, y'all. Oh my God, good job, guys.